BeerQuestTV presents Places and Spaces, a new series with intentions of giving homage and celebration to the spaces and places in which we purchase and consume craft beer and craft beer culture. Due to the COVID-19 pandemic, many of these places have limited their operations. We intend to amplify the Support Your Locals movement by spotlighting these spaces which could use your assistance. First on the map is Murphy's Law, located at Dr. Kuyperstraat 7 off of Maritskade. Come join us.
Cheers, man.
Okay, all right, oh my goodness. So, where do we start? Why is this established? I'm going to ask you some questions just so that everyone can get the background. I mean, the people who know you, but this is for the people who don't know you too. Why is this place called Murphy's Law?
It actually already had the name when I bought the bar, so I cannot take credit for that. But it kind of fits how things have gone in the past a little bit. Not always.
Oh my god! Oh, that's right, because Murphy's Law means
Things go wrong.
Yeah, and not just about these times, but just in general. I also know that this establishment, you have a love for music, and then a lot of musicians are coming here and have performed. Yeah. I remember every Monday it used to be live jazz at 9 p.m. So, what made you? Tell me a little bit about your love of music, or in particular jazz.
I've always had a love for music, not so much jazz. The jazz more or less came with the bar, and then I kind of grew into it, and I started, doing some research, different types of jazz, different types of music. When I open, I play jazz, so I listen to jazz about 10 hours a day. So you get bored of listening to the same stuff, so you find other stuff to listen to, and I really got into it, and especially with the live performances, it just makes it so different, and basically it was only the Monday night, but that was a long time ago, and then the scene changed a bit, and things just changed. And there was opportunity to do more gigs, and people wanted to perform more, so we expanded. And now, well, not with COVID, but we do 4 nights of music a week. So I'm hoping to get back to that.
Tell me a little bit about your introduction to the craft beer scene and why, in a place that looks like bourbon and all kinds of fantastic gins should be there, we're surrounded by craft beer.
You also have the gins and the bourbons. they're here, but I particularly, I've always been interested in beer. I've always liked beer. I've even tried to make my own beer. It's never really successful, but I know how the process goes. I know what it takes to make beer, and that's basically how it got. I mean, there were only 2 craft beer sort of taps, and I kind of expanded that because I like new beers, and I like the new styles that were coming in, instead of the old Belgian and German styles that everybody was already drinking. So it's basically my love for beer that kind of got this far.
I mean, the funniest thing that I recall, I think the first time I came here and I met you, there was an earlier episode of BeerQuest, and it was the beer festival inside of Kirk.
Yeah.
And there's a scene when you're behind me, but I didn't know who you were back then. And then when I came in here, I go, why does his face look so familiar? And then I remember coming to you like, is this you? And you were like, yeah, this is me. So it's kind of good that just because you don't meet someone the first time, you're around them, you know that you're around like the right person. So I'm going to ask you a personal question. What is your favorite style of beer?
Hoppy blonde and not too strong in alcohol. But it's not the only thing I drink. I drink like loads of beers. I like sours. I like stouts. I like all kinds, as long as it's not too sweet.
So
a lot of the new style double IPAs. This one not so in particular, but I find them too sweet, which is a thing that I don't like that much. But other people seem to like it better than I do. So hey ho. So yeah, basically very hoppy, dry, blonde, not too strong, about 4.5, 4, so you can keep on drinking it.
So you're, I like to call them the distance drinkers. Like there are people who want the heaviest thing and then they want to stop. And then there's some people who are like, oh, I want enough because the night's going to go longer and I want to be able to go the distance. So you're a distance drinker and not so sweet, but hoppy. So I know this month, a lot of people have put online, it's usually dry January, and a lot of people have said double dry hopped January. So I guess you're in that particular set of people, not the dry January.
Yeah, the other one I've heard, it's nothing to do with wine, it's dry white wine.
Oh, yes.
January you drink dry white wine. Sweet.
I will drink wine if there's nothing else to drink, but that's not my first to go to. So I'm like, yay for wine, but yeah, I mean, what can you do?
Beer lovers, it's hard for them to get into the jazz. So it's easier to get the jazz people to drink craft beer than it is to get the craft beer drinkers
into
like
jazz. I mean, we'll detour a little bit into jazz. When I was growing up, my father liked jazz, and I quite, in the beginning, didn't like jazz because I assumed it was the same, all jazz was the same. Like, my mom would play radio, you might hear Kenny G, or you might hear something, and I go, oh, this is just kind of one level. And then one time I was riding in my car with my father, he played Ahmad Jamal, and I heard him bang on the piano keys a certain way. I heard riffs and rhythms. I was like, is this jazz? And my father said, yes, this is jazz. This isn't the only thing. And so then I had a more appreciation for you can play outside of the rules and you can play within the rules. There is a guy, Robert Glasper, who he's made traditional jazz albums to appease the people before him, but now he colors outside of the line. So I'll put together an unorthodox jazz list to go with this episode.
Yeah, but I mean, jazz has got so many styles and so many, yeah, it's hard to say, like, if people say jazz, it's like a whole thing, or you can go that way, that way, that way, that way, that way, and it's hard to say, like, if someone likes jazz and he plays something and say, oh, I don't like this.
Yeah, but you won't hear one thing and then you can say no to everything. I mean, it even took me a while. Before I used to tell everyone, I hate country Western music. That was my thing. And then I found like 2 songs I really liked, and I go, oh, good music is good music. I can be attracted more to a certain type of, but you can find something in the genre you don't like and go, this is really catchy. I mean, I guess this would be trivia for anyone. Garth Brooks had a song called The Thunder Rolls, and for some reason I've liked that song. Or I've liked Dolly Parton songs, and of course the original Kenny Rogers, You Gotta Know When to Fold Them. So there are the old things, and I mean, I don't necessarily like Achy Breaky Heart, but if it's karaoke time, I think I can muster up the lyrics, which means on some level I do like it, but I don't like telling people that I do like it. Considering that we're almost near the end of January and some beers have come in, what were your favorites of this month?
Well, to stick in my line, the Gypsy Hill Sessionaire it's my type of beer. It's 4.5 4.8. It's blonde. It's very hoppy. That's one of my favorites that I've had in. Apart from that, Siren hasn't had one of similar ones. To go a very different way, which my wife really likes. She says I'm not supposed to sell these because she's going to drink them all. It's a vanilla, cocoa, and almond stout.
Ooh.
So it's quite on the sweet side, but it's really nice, really nice. Just like at the end of the night, sitting by the fire or having a dessert. It's a cool beer. But yeah, there's so many nice beers, it's hard to pick out one or two. But I also like a lot of the sour beers, just, yeah.
You know what I had to get used to? I waited for, I think it was, everyone kept telling me about the young Tommy Jeff and his beers.
Yeah.
And so I had to join the membership. I got them, and everyone told me how great they were. And I was so used to having the Belgium sours and them being sour. And his beers are sour, but they're not as sour as that. And I just had to be like, okay, this is kind of, it's really nice and flavorful, but it isn't as strong as the Fontaines or the,
Yeah.
but good. But I'm like, I was almost expecting just a little more. I call it, in America, we have A1 steak sauce, and it goes from the steak sauce, and it hits you here and here. In the sour, you just you feel it. Again, can you tell us the ways how us as the public can support Murphy's Law?
Well, I've got all the cans and a lot of the bottles. All the selection is available to take away. So feel free to come and have a look. You can see the whole list online or on Untapped, and just make your choice, and then you can either send me what you want, or you can just come here and pick it out. There's also the other option of buying vouchers, which also helps support me. You can use them when I open again. If you don't use them, then the money just goes to support me. So yeah, that's basically the only two things I can do with the whole COVID situation, and not, yeah, people are not allowed in the bars unless they're buying something to take home. So,
Where are your social media channels? How can they reach you?
well, the first one is the website, murphysjazz.nl. Second one would be Facebook, which you can find under my name, Nazim, or under the Murphy's Law page.
We miss you.